And action.
Says you're live. We are live. Welcome, everybody.
Who's the first one here? Let us know.
I just like to move the camera around.
See if the new notification system works.
Our notification system is not on point.
It's not?
No.
Jonathan Weiss, my buddy,
He's first
came
on?
up to me and he says, I subscribed. I finally subscribed. I've been on it for a while. And he goes, I get the notification now. I said, you get a notification? That's awesome.
You can turn it off if you don't want
Why would you do
notifications.
that?
Well, I'm just saying you don't. Being a subscriber,
For those of you who just tuned in because of your notification, I appreciate it.
go to the First Amendment.
You
Sports.
have been notified.
You just got it?
You got it?
No,
Oh, damn
I
it.
just like to say you have been notified.
The one thing we miss is the Facebook, family from Hogs Haven.
Yeah,
We'll get them
you
back.
and I
We're
are
gonna get
not
them.
Facebook guys, though. I mean, we don't have an account. Never have, never will.
So I'm still carrying
So
the
it's
flag,
a weird,
holding
it's
the
a
torch.
weird,
Oh, yeah.
it's a weird
Oh, yeah.
community to me.
But-
So many non-liked posts have had my name at the top of it.
Oh yeah.
Non-like.
As you
I
guys
w-
have chuckled.
Are you not liking
But-
Facebook?
No one likes podcasts on Facebook, like generally speaking.
Yeah.
Gen Pop.
Well, good thing we were on there for a year.
No.
No, we're on Hogs
no,
Haven.
The Hogs Haven was
Pam
perfect.
and James.
That
and-
was that was
know,
Pam never
perfect.
come back.
I don't think she's come back to the.
Pam.
Jam-
I don't think
Jam-
Pam or James. James has been here before, right?
Pinging
YouTube.
Pam.
Not yet.
We
No
haven't
James.
had James.
No,
It's
James.
a big loss.
I wonder if do you
big
think
loss.
he took it personally that we
Andrew's
abandoned
here,
Facebook?
right?
He deserves better, especially at Christmas time.
We've left plenty of notifications. on the
Andrew
Facebook
has
page
definitely come over to
to
YouTube.
switch.
Of course.
Yeah.
Maybe he's
Nonstop.
just not a YouTube guy.
Maybe he's not a YouTube guy.
I don't know. Like I'm not a Facebook
I
guy.
could see YouTube as being more.
People are just using
neutral.
YouTube. We were just talking about getting rid of cable and what you do next. Some people just get YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, obviously they
Watch our
YouTube is
chunky
really-
heads talk on all kinds of
YouTube's blown up a lot
outlets.
since
No,
we
but they
started
also-
doing it on
there's-
YouTube.
like,
Obviously,
YouTube has channels. Like you can actually
5
watch
million
TV.
blow-ups.
people are like, "Wait a second, you tell me if I cut the cord, I can just watch First Amendment Sports on YouTube?" Like, yes, you can. Just hit the subscribe button. It's free.
It's free. We don't ask for anything.
We're gonna get
nothing.
started here. We hopefully gave some people some time from all over the world to join us.
A whole bunch just came on. I can see
we
them.
go.
There they are, right there. There's a new one.
I don't see Jabruce anywhere.
I'd like to welcome everybody to Tuesday night. Thank you so much for joining us on YouTube. First Amendment Sports, Hogs Haven. Thank you all for joining. He's Tim Strachan.
You know, it's just happy. It's happy. It's Christmas coming up. You know, the holidays. The Redskins are still relevant. And
Yes,
that's
they are.
hopefully what we're going to be talking about tonight. I'm so sorry I wasn't here last week. I had some other obligations. You guys did a great job.
Thank you, sir.
But happy to be back. Happy to be sick-free for the first, I think, show.
We're
in
all happy
over,
about
like
that.
a month and a half, 2
Share your
months.
happiness there.
So, yeah, it's a good night, man. It's a good night.
He's Kevin Ricca.
Sick free, but still a sicko, which I respect
Well,
greatly.
that's in the eye of the beholder.
And I'm beholding the eye with the mic in my hand right now. But really, I'm thinking Santa Claus is Coming to Town has been the number one song we've played on both our shows tonight. And we went Bruce and Michael, and there's no other versions. So,
We are out. Are we just going to have to go a cappella for the hot box?
no. I mean, like, they're the two greatest of all time.
Yeah.
And they can be debated. But a young Michael and
There's
a
lot of
young
Mariah-
Bruce.
There's a lot of Mariah fans out there for the Christmas song.
True. But
if
Santa
you're-
Claus is Coming to Town.
She
You
could
got
never-
Bruce
she
Springsteen
could
or Michael
never
Jackson,
unseat
and those are the only
two in
two
my
versions.
opinion.
Bruce
I'd have to put
Springsteen or Michael
on
Jackson
top.
all time.
Jackson. Oh,
Michael Jackson.
I'm a
that
Bruce
is-
guy.
that's right here.
I'm a
No,
Bruce
no.
guy. I guess-
It's there's no wrong answer.
I know.
Hey,
But it's.
And I love Bruce, but
There'd be
Michael
the
you
conversation.
like that better than this?
I'm just saying.
No, as an
overall,
artist,
all
overall.
time.
Oh, you don't mean just this song?
I love Michael Jackson, but I love Bruce Springsteen more.
By the way, you're talking about two top 5 all-timers,
Yeah.
but I think there's one guy. The king of pop is the king of pop.
Yep.
And sorry for everyone out there listening. I love Bruce Springsteen, so don't get mad at me.
I understand.
love him.
No.
We're
I
picking
love him
between the icons.
I already said outside when you ask questions, what happens to T and I.
I'm not
You
as
got it?
big of a Bruce fan as most.
Sure. But you at least recognize, he's a
course.
all-time great debate in a debate.
Of course.
We wouldn't throw, if we were going to say who it was, we wouldn't throw him out as a commonly
No.
picked,
Well,
answer.
Yeah, no, you would.
Oh, I would never do that. I'm Ken Marangolo. On behalf of First Amendment Sports and Hogs Haven, I'd like to welcome everybody to this week's episode of After the Whistle, our coverage of the greatest television show that we believe which is Redskins football.
What an episode!
So the
That was
cast of
definitely
characters.
a twist and a turn in there.
It becomes you're at this point in time they've killed everybody off. The writers have just decided we're going to pay
there
part timers.
have been there's been a what do
This
they
is
call it?
red
The
weddings.
The
There's
red
been
wedding.
15
Yeah.
red weddings this season.
This
Whichever
season
one
has
of those
been the red wedding.
whichever one of those butthole writers wrote in Mark Sanchez. I'm glad he got clobbered with goblets.
He's
I'm
the,
talking about the writer, not
yes,
Mark
yeah.
Sanchez. Look, what a nice guy to wear a hat and a clipboard and charm the media for a week.
Smile.
Smile,
Yeah.
wear an outfit similar to my wife's outfit as he walked into the stadium. Skinny jeans, a leather jacket, a scarf that must have taken a half an hour to get there with
Make sure it was
with a
right.
latte in hand. That might not be the cat I want leading my football
A
team.
latte?
I mean, I'm just saying. Look, Millennial Mark just rolled into Landover from Southern California, where he was. Hey, just so you know, guys, I don't want to hit off him too hard, but his dad created him similar to, some of the things we've heard. He's in batting cages doing periodic tables. He's learning multiplication while he's hitting off a tee. Like his dad did these like academic, athletic things and combined them into one with his second wife and turned this guy into like a super athlete and had meetings with people and had about. So I don't want to hate on the guy. I think he's a good person,
No, you're right.
but he crapped on us in
It's
Landover.
Christmas.
And Josh Johnson was sitting on the couch in Oakland, California, one of the best
awesome.
guys in his community. And when he was interviewed and said, "Yeah, I've been on 12 teams," and the reason
Almost
why,
got like an old scab feeling.
why didn't you hang it up? Well, the kids that I deal with in the inner city that are looking for a glimmer of hope, I got to keep it real. He was dead freaking serious.
I'm full of hope.
It's about the kids.
I'm full of hope with this kid.
His celebration at the end. You knock it off. You knock it off, Froghorn.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers, San Francisco 49ers, Cleveland Browns, Cincinnati Bengals, another stint with the 49ers, another stint with the Bengals, New York Jets, Indianapolis Colts, Buffalo Bills, Baltimore Ravens, New York Giants, Houston Texans, Oakland Raiders, was one of the inaugural or number one all-time pick for the San Diego Fleet, a team out in California.
Nice.
Got the call to be a Redskins quarterback. I believe his answer to the question of what is he going to do about his job with the Fleet.
Is the mascot an enema? This is my only question to you.
Yes. Yes.
The
it is.
Fleet.
Yes, it is. It's an enema.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. It's a good ass mascot, dude.
Yeah, he's fun. He's a fun story.
You give him a hug and it just shoots water out. That'd be great.
That's what happens to Sanchez.
We were never winning games this season based on quarterback play. So the losing Alex Smith sucks because of his professionalism and his ability and experience and all that stuff. But the Washington Redskins as a team, we're not going through this season based on the strength of their signal caller. It was always going to be defense, punting, field goals, if it was ever going to be anything. I mean,
He protected us
we wanted more.
by not losing games.
Sure.
As he was trying to establish himself on the field when he had already established himself in the locker room.
So let's just
But
first
that's
of all,
but just real quick, I want to finish my point to what you're saying. What Josh Johnson has stepped in and done has been very Alex Smith-like.
Sure.
Chris Thompson said his presence, he just came in and took over. Meanwhile, Sanchez is trying to untie his scarf for
Shout
like
out
47
Madden.
minutes. But here's the deal. You want a leader of men out there. You want to get into a foxhole with somebody. I don't think you want the dude in the foxhole wearing Burberry. I'm just saying.
Nope.
I don't think you want
pronounced
skinny
Burberry,
jeans.
actually.
No, in Gaithersburg we call it Burberry.
We call
I
it
have no
Burberry.
idea what you guys
Yes.
are
Burberry is
talking
the
about.
correct pronunciation.
Burberry.
I say Burberry.
Let's just
Burberry.
first recognize the fact that Alex Smith is home. Right? He's home. He's
Very
he's
healthy.
Apparently
Smith family.
healthy. As healthy as he could be at this point.
It was scary as shit.
A great Christmas present
Yes,
for
it
the
is.
Alex Smith family.
Yes, it is.
And for the Redskins. Let's just recognize that when you start talking about stuff where football no longer becomes relevant at all. I know, yes, he's still on the roster. He's still going to be a cap hit. But when you're talking about losing a leg and that kind of stuff, I'm glad that he's home. Glad that he's home.
I think it has had I think it's played into the last 2 weeks storyline because
it has. No, you're right.
When we were sitting in the stands watching them,
and I sure as hell hope we hear the story or somehow get a behind the scenes look at when the time he finally does address the team in some way.
Well, so when we were sitting in the stands at FedEx talking about being down 40-0 to the New York Giants and seeing the flatness, blaming much of it on Mark Sanchez, but I can't imagine that getting the news that you got a guy fighting for some pretty serious situation that was your leader, that was your guy, and he's a few miles away in a hospital, literally
and
fighting.
They visited him on the team bus. They went over and
Yeah.
blah, blah, so they saw up close that it was serious.
And you can see in the picture how much weight he's lost.
I know.
He looks emaciated.
He was sick.
And he was in the room next to Colt McCoy, the other guy that's beloved by this locker room, who everyone trusts and understands and loves, and who's a core to the whole thing that's going on with Jake Gruden's team.
Back.
Colt McCoy might be back, and I think let's answer that question. Let's just move through it
Well,
all.
let me just say too.
Well, go ahead.
Great that Alex is home, but in the spirit of this season, to have a guy like Josh Johnson getting the story and the recognition that he's getting right now, and has a great opportunity this week to really do something special. I mean, it's just awesome. It's awesome. We talk in August about wanting to be relevant, right? Let's have relevant games in December. I think, Ken, you say that all the time, right? Let's have relevant games in September. These games are relevant.
It's December, or even
What
January.
did I say?
September.
December. In December.
Some years our
Have
games in
relevant
September
games in
have not been relevant.
And that's what we have.
Yeah.
It might not be great football, but that's what we have.
Well, I don't.
And that's the reality.
You know what? Great football is a W on a weekly basis, and I get it.
Crisp,
and it can
clean
be
football.
Yes,
You know what
I
I'm
know.
saying?
I know what you mean. And there's not a ton of that in the world these days. The great football we grew up with was based on year in, year out cohesion from the top to the bottom. Jack Kent Cook, Bobby Beathard, Joe Gibbs.
Yeah, they didn't have 40-point
The
games.
coaching staff. I mean, Wayne Sevier was our special teams coach for eternity. Pettibone on the defensive side. Joe Bugle, the O-line. Like, this is what it was. These guys were entrenched in their positions. They weren't taking offers to go elsewhere. They did it together as a family. And that day is over. We get that. The new NFL, it's not year to year anymore. It is week to week. And, there's been 4 or 5 terrible weeks for us to sit around. Now, we get to talk about a W. And I'm just going to say to anyone listening right now, I was in San Antonio, Texas, watching 2 games happen at the same exact time with my Redskins on. Listen, there was Bears fans. It was dominant Cowboys, but it was very similar to the sports bar that you would draw up like on like an episode on a comedy episode of TV. Like it was. Everyone was like buying beers for each other, tight little place. People got to know each other a little bit. We're all here on vacation. Oh, the National Athletic Directors
Did you
Convention.
exchange numbers with anyone? Like, are you pen pals, or have you been texting
If
with
you're
anyone?
insinuating that my wife and I went in there separately and acted like we didn't know each other, then no,
Nice.
that didn't happen. But I do appreciate you
Full
giving me that
cover
credit.
stories?
Yeah, no. This was just legit. And no,
Around
the guy next
Mexico?
to me, Bears fan, said, "Look, you guys are standing there. Come sit here. Like, sit down. You're at Sunday football. You need to sit down." And I bought him a beer. You would have thought that I gave him $1,000.
People
Like,
from Chicago are generally
it was
really
awesome.
nice.
I love Chicago.
That was
nice
awesome,
people.
and that was awesome. And the
That's
people and the
Midwest.
people in San Antonio were very nice, cowboy driven. But to watch them just getting pelted as the Bears, who we befriended, were taking care of business against Aaron Rodgers, as Josh Johnson and the climate in there, everyone started turning to the one TV that I begged the waitress of the 8 TVs to put it on. 4 Cowboys, 2 Bears, and then they had something else, the Raiders.
It
I
was
think.
not a good game.
She was like,
though.
"Oh, we have it over there." It was on like I was like,
Oh, sure.
She's like, "Oh, we'll put
The
it on
bowling
here."
alley TV?
Everyone turned around, blah blah, except for the guy in the Colt Brennan jersey that had been washed thousands of times.
Thank you, sir.
That was amazing.
I'll drink to that. I love Colt Brennan.
To
Colt Brennan
be
was-
able to be in that atmosphere and watch what happened go down.
So Redskins win 2 games. They're in the playoffs. That's fact number 1. And you'll see the Philadelphia Eagles ahead of us
It
in
would
the
have
standings.
to take. Wouldn't
Right.
it have to take a Kirk Cousins
No.
disappointment?
Nope. Redskins win 2. Redskins make the playoffs because one of those 2 would be over the Eagles, and 2 of the top teams above us actually play each other.
Okay.
Redskins control
Trust you on that.
their future. So
Destiny.
destiny, fate,
Destinos.
destiny.
And San Antonio is Destinos.
The
But
cool.
we were going to that discussion though.
Let me give you guys my boldly hoping. I love. Picture these next words
Be
in
bold, Ken.
italics. Everything I say from here on out. That's the boldly hoping series is known for italicization. The old school Hawks
I'm gonna put a
Haveners.
French accent on it too. Just
Nice. like
I
that.
dare
appreciate
you. I triple dog dare
as
you.
I'm listening.
The Tennessee Titans are a team that the Redskins should want to play right now. The way that they play football is certainly capable of beating the Washington Redskins, but that's the way that the Washington Redskins have a chance of winning. A team that wants to run it all day on us, that doesn't necessarily have an explosive passing game, and isn't necessarily a fast offense. Yes, Marcus Mariota is a classy, mobile quarterback, but he's not a speedster. Corey Davis is a quality, big target. Their tight end isn't exceptionally fast. And Derrick Henry, in the open field, yeah, he can run away from you, but it's going to take him a second or two to get there. Deion Lewis can do what Deion Lewis does. This offense does not score a ton of points. They're right about the same amount as the Washington Redskins, about a tick or two higher. Their defense...
They're just not spinning it all over town.
No, their defense and our defense are somewhat similar in terms of total yards per game, about 25 yards difference, I believe. I think it's two teams that play a similar style of football. You give them the edge in certain places on offense because of Derrick Henry right now and because of Marcus Mariota over Josh Johnson. But the Washington Redskins should be happy about this matchup because if they can take care of business, it really sets up what I want to talk to you guys about.
Should be happy.
I'm just saying.
Should be happy.
I'm just saying because it would give
It's
them the
a
chance to play
fucking great
the
opportunity.
Philadelphia Eagles
Holy F-bomb.
in Week 17.
Santa
It
Claus.
is.
No matter what
It's not
happens,
a should be happy.
we
about
win.
it at all.
We win against Tennessee. We're playing the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yes.
Let's talk about that game. You think
the
Colt
nuts on the line.
McCoy? Colt McCoy may be here. You think?
Yeah. Well, they're saying.
They're
And
saying.
there's been a big debate. I heard it a little bit today, just saying Josh Johnson goes there, finds a way to win his second start in a row, going into the last game of the season against the Eagles with a healthy Colt McCoy, or at least close to it.
I think no matter what,
What do you do?
I think no matter whether we win or lose, it's on the line for us. Because if we're tied with the Eagles, I believe they go in ahead of us.
Wild card, it depends on Minnesota at that point.
Yep, okay.
Obviously, Seattle is set up for.
Yep.
Although they just got upset by San Fran, who everyone penciled them in as a W. So it all boils down to someone else at that point. But we're still. I think we'd still be alive. I can't get over the fact that we're still celebrating. We're still celebrating beating the Jaguars, and people are like around here. Some of them are like us. Like,
win in
holy
the
moly!
NFL, dude.
But some people are like, and
Not
what you
easy.
just described and what you just set up
All that's possible.
could not have happened without
Josh Johnson.
Josh Johnson and what he just did. I do believe Colt McCoy comes back. He gets the nod, putting in his 4 years here and his relationship with the team and the fan base. I mean, not the fan base, his team and the coaching staff.
Yep.
And his leadership. And people, rely and depend on him to be the guy who deserved this opportunity more than anyone. Now, Josh Johnson, I think, has earned himself the right, like you said, to compete over this summer, to be a part of this franchise moving forward. And why not? Sometimes things just work. Sometimes things just fit. I think he's been a dog in the fight.
And we
he's
need
not
to get-
somebody you can
That's
turn
need
your
the
back
guy.
on.
part of it.
We need a
He's
guy.
been a dog.
Yeah.
He's come in here.
We need guys.
Yeah,
unassuming, without expecting a goddamn thing, and going, "I'm here to work."
There's just
He's worked.
I just want to say
He
two
hasn't been
things.
spectacular. He
I want to say
hasn't done
two things
incredible
about this
numbers.
while I'm
He's playing
incorporating
ball.
what Ken is talking about right now, which I adore. I loved your 6-pack this week, by the way. Well done, sir. It's always well done. But
Thank you.
some weeks are better than others, as we
course.
all know.
Actually read it this week.
And well done by you too,
Thank you, sir.
T-Bird.
Appreciate you.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
The Sanchez coming in here like a little dog in a purse, and then you got a pit bull coming out of Oakland that just grabbed this leadership role and surged forward, and people are still saying, oh, well, it was just the Jags. Well, that's a top 6 total defensive team, 7 in points
they were
scored.
one game away from the Super Bowl last year.
And here's what else they did. We all got to see it, and I did too, and I talked about it down in San Antonio. The Dallas Cowboys losing to the Indianapolis Colts this week, getting shut out by them. The Colts have won 7 of their last 8. Yeah. And those 7 wins, they have averaged over 31 points a game, including Dallas. They were shut out 2 weeks ago by those same Jacksonville Jaguars that everyone around here wants to poo-poo. Keep in mind that the two things we saw resemble week to week activity. But the Colts averaged 31 points a game in those other 7 games, scored 0 against the team that we just beat. I'm sorry, but Andrew Luck and Josh Johnson, if we're talking about what's supposed to happen, that offense versus this offense with injuries and no Jordan Reed and our 9th and 10th guards and just battered everywhere. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? So we have put ourselves in a position to do this with just gut, grit, and we haven't said the name Jay Gruden yet.
That's where I was going.
But I could not. I was
Who deserves the credit for that? Who
happy.
deserves the credit for putting it all together
happy.
and pulling out a win?
Jay Gruden.
The players just don't automatically make it happen.
Oh, so they didn't quit on Jay Gruden, right?
Jay Gruden and his staff deserve a whole hell of a lot more credit than what they're getting. Are they the best in the NFL? No. They're the best of what we've got right now. They're the best of what we've had here recently for a span of time, and he needs and deserves. And I think this proves it. This proves it. There's relevant football left to be played with a team that, as you said, has their 9th and 10th guards playing right now. Are you kidding me?
I mean, as Wham comes on, I don't know that this makes Jay Gruden's future brighter or the ability to stay in town better. I don't know that. What I do know is this. Everyone, the bitterness of the aura, the black cloud, the curse, he stared all of it in the face and won a freaking football game this week by being an awesome head football coach 1 week on 1 day. And when Adrian Peterson approached him at the end of that game and stared him down with a Hall of Fame stare, looking right at him saying, you did it.
Yeah.
You put it together this week, and we followed. As everyone else in the world already threw in the towel. They quit on him. They quit. No one quit on his ass, and he didn't quit on anybody. So I'm not saying that means he deserves this day. I don't know what happens. We all know what happens. It's big business.
We've seen a
I'm
head
so
coach in
proud.
that situation
Bow out.
lay a stinker
Bow out, fall down.
All the time.
Shanahan,
in every sport.
a 2-time Super Bowl winner.
Yeah.
That it was over for him. He threw in the towel. What I love about Jay Gruden and what Josh Johnson said is I met him when he was the GA, when he showed up, when he was coaching down there in Tampa Bay. And Josh Johnson said he has never wavered. Men I respect the most are the men that are consistent no matter what position they are in and what time I've met them and seen them again. And he's the same person as he was when he was driving up from coaching arena ball and being just a consultant on his brother's staff in Tampa Bay when Josh Johnson met him first. Same time, same person he was that day was the same person I met last week. And they asked him about his relationship. He said, consistency. I respect that man. Well, that locker room respects both of those men.
Yeah.
And no one quit on anyone. Sorry, Jabruce. Perfect timing.
So we're Jabruce
No one
isn't
quit,
going to be
Jabruce.
happy
We
about
gotta
this.
talk about
No one quit,
Don't
Jabruce.
knock that cord out.
We got to talk
Jabruce.
about your performance in my chair last week. There, Juice. Let me just say, all of his opinions from last week were his own. They were not mine, even though he stood in for me.
I'm dual tracking.
Terrible.
I'm not concerning myself with the head coach decision. I am concerning myself with the team president decision. I'm not taking my eyes off that prize. As Redskins fans, we should not. We can dual track. We want wins. I want a playoff appearance more than anything else. More on that in a second. But I am continuing the struggle, continuing the fight. I think the Washington Redskins organization has got to change direction at the top, the highest level possible. That means Bruce Allen, and he had a really good chance, a long opportunity. He wasn't. I don't think he'll go. He's second. He's first over Vinny Serrato. I think he's done a better job than Vinny Serrato.
Yeah, he has done a better job than Vinny.
I'm going to give him that.
Less wins.
I know.
Worst winning percentage.
I'm going to give him that. I'm going to give
Vinny.
him. So
Hold on. You're clapping for 2 turds in the bowl. One
serious?
gets the.
I'm saying Vinny Serrato benefited from Marty Schottenheimer and from Charlie Casserly.
They fired him for the 1 year Marty Schottenheimer took over.
But
So I don't know
he
if
was staying at a Holiday Inn. He was literally staying at a Holiday Inn up the street, and Dan Snyder was calling him at night.
Certainly benefited from Vinny Serrato.
By the way,
doubt.
can we just talk about that for
from
1 second?
Charlie Casserly.
Certainly benefited from
Certainly
Charlie Casserly.
benefited from Charlie Casserly, yes.
Daniel Snyder was told by Marty Schottenheimer, let me do my thing. I've been doing this forever in a little thing called the Hall of Fame. I know football. 1 year into that job, Marty Schottenheimer said, I can't do it. Why? Because every time he would come into the building, Dan Snyder would be in the corner being like, no, you hang up. No, you hang up. No, you hang up.
Love
Vinny
you
Serrato
more.
all year long.
Yeah,
Vinny
I
Serrato
can't
literally
even.
in the Holiday Inn down the street. And Marty Schottenheimer said, I'm out. That actually happened. That actually happened to the Washington Redskins. We had an actual chance to be good or on better footing so long ago.
That phone call.
Well, the phone call actually happened too. The phone call actually happened. So, Vinny Serrato was terrible. I think Bruce Allen was a step up, and that gives me just so much hope that we're going to get incrementally better than Bruce Allen. Yes. As team president for the Washington Redskins. Give him the draft picks. Give him whatever happens in the next 2 games.
Is him in
give
the
to new
building?
guy.
Is him in the building? Do we have the balls to finally promote from within? Is
Who are you
him in the
promoting from
building?
within?
If we lose Eric Schaefer, from what I understand, it's going to be a gut punch. And I understand enough to know that salary cap wise and someone that's able to have withstood over a decade of this.
Team president?
No. I'm just saying there's multiple decisions to be made about leadership within the framework of who we have here.
Because Eric Schaefer's been around since Vinny days.
I know.
all
That's
the
what
way
I'm
back.
saying.
He's a lifer.
He's a lifer who is the most well-respected Redskins
Yep.
front office guy league-wide by far, besides Doug Williams for obvious reasons.
I
but
do
as a guy
agree.
who's a salary
He's
cap
like
guy,
the shark of the Washington Redskins.
I understand.
history. He's survived.
he's the
it all.
wolf.
And I like,
It's a
I
terrible
love Eric Schaefer. He's our
prehistoric
guy.
to now.
But let's just all be honest. We have had some pretty terrible salary cap situations, even when he was the guy. That's how hard it is to
Yeah,
be
but
the guy
Bruce did
under
the,
Dan,
what was it called?
Dan Snyder.
What was it called? What was the move that got that called
$36 million penalty.
No, but there was a road in Tampa Bay. It was named after because he did it down there for so long, and they were like, "Don't do it again."
Don't do
this
it
ain't
again.
Tampa. And he was like,
The Bruce Allen.
I'll
way.
do
"You
it
must
again.
not know." They call me Bruce.
They call me Bruce.
And then next thing you know, we lost Lorenzo Alexander.
Yes.
Who is now doing what? Who wanted to be a what for life? A Redskin.
Eric has done a great job playing the hands that get dealt to him.
He's a financial guy on the salary cap end.
We shouldn't
Bruce-
lose him. I'm not, but I don't know if I'm making him team president. I'm probably not making him team president.
So there's no one right now that you would promote to something?
The most kind of out on the edge thing
this is what
I
I'm
would
putting
do.
out there. Come on.
The most on the edge one I would do would be to solidify Jay Gruden's place as head coach on the team. But I want the new guy to have the ability to pick his or her guy. Condoleezza Rice is available. She has been rumored to be interviewed by the Cleveland Browns for the same position. So
I'm going to give myself a wedgie so as not to
That's
take my anger out on anyone else.
that's a true story.
Yeah.
Inside the building, you think Doug Williams is ready to be the
No.
team president?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm asking questions. These aren't leading, counselor. These are questions. My point is this: at which you let Dan Snyder make that decision again.
He's the only guy that
Crap.
can make it.
Here's who
he's
he's
the
made.
owner.
Here's
I
who
know.
he's made. I know. I don't mean let.
Who else?
Vinny
Vinny
Bruce.
Serrato,
Who-
Marty for 1 year, Joe Gibbs.
Who tells him?
That was his one like.
Because they're supposed to call him Mr. Snyder. Please don't make this decision. Who makes that? Who does that? 'Cause
Who
they're
wants to work?
fired.
Who wants to work for Baby Boss?
So here's the way that I understand how it works. So the NFL is 32 guys, and there's a list, and they all keep it. And there's a list of people who the National Football League considers for these types of positions, team president. I think that the Washington Redskins should try to get the Sean McVay of that list. Try to find a young guy who has some
Cashman.
awesome ideas. Cashman.
The Cashman of football. That's what they need.
Okay. Yeah. I don't care if he's a little outside the box. I mean, he's going to be strapped down to a $51 million quarterback who may never play again. So he should have a long leash
They
to
need
make
somebody
some decisions.
who can seriously evaluate and choose talent. I don't know if that
Without a
becomes
doubt.
a split job. Somebody who can take care of all the other crap, like who wears what pants and the Hall of Fame
Wait.
week or the Ring of Honor weekend and shit like that.
You got to do
I
that
mean,
realty.
I don't know if that has to be the same job. Does it have to be the same job?
So you have to do those things well, and some organizations do it well because their general manager and team president is good at evaluating talent. Some teams it's their head coach who ends up making the final call, like a Belichick. For the Washington Redskins, I think they need to find. I think their priority one for the team president should be somebody that has the trust and
Football
respect of the league, because right now
Football
Bruce
guy.
Allen does not have the trust and respect of the league. In fact, he was voted by his peers
Yes.
and by agents and players
No.
as the least trustworthy decision maker in the entire NFL.
May I say this? This
That's a big
conversation is based upon the premise that anyone is better than Bruce Allen.
Okay.
That's where I was coming from.
Yeah, of course.
That was
I
a
should
true
have said
vote,
that.
right?
Yes.
That was a true vote.
That was a poll.
How, if you're Bruce Allen, how do you go to the next meeting with all of them, knowing that everyone in
How
that
does he
room
walk around Northern
just
Virginia?
said, "You're a fucking snake."
Yeah. I mean, people, if he doesn't,
I'm a snake.
Hey, Bob, how are you,
I'm a
buddy?
slithery snake.
It's a problem for me.
Were you one of
Yeah.
the guys that said I was the worst?
Yeah. When you're hanging out in the snake
Oh,
pit,
wasn't you?
No
That's
one's, no
what
one's
all
worried about who the
31 other
snakes are
guys said.
when you're amongst snakes.
I have a real problem with that. It's a red line for me. And I think to me,
Should be.
they should invest heavily in scouting
If you
and
knew
talent
everybody you
evaluation.
worked with hated you and did
Yeah.
not
It
trust
has
you,
no
would you
respect
go
for
to
you.
work like, "Hey guys"?
We need
What's
somebody
up?
that
If that was the case, that would kind of be a challenge.
we need Eric
That's probably
Schaefer.
how he lives his life.
We need Eric Schaefer to have good contracts,
shit.
opportunities to work on in free agency. And part of the guys we're losing, and I throw a name like Alshon Jeffrey out. Do I think Alshon Jeffrey would have come to the Washington Redskins? I have no idea. Probably not. He had a great opportunity to go to the Eagles, and he made an awesome decision because he got to the Super
We
Bowl.
can't just have the oldest ball sack receivers in the
No,
universe
what I'm saying
to match
is
up with our quarterbacks. What are
Quality.
they going to hit, like
No, I'm not talking about free agents coming up. I'm talking about in
blue
the
plate
past.
special?
There are agents and players who aren't excited about dealing with the Washington Redskins, and that's how we end up losing out
Yeah,
on
but
guys.
I get that. I do. But you know, overall, everyone knows there's 32 teams and everyone's got to spend money. So someone's going to fit a slot. I know what you're saying, if it's between this, that, and the other. But, you know, we've done a pretty good job of whining, dining, and you figure out the rest.
Yeah.
That's happened over time.
The guys whose clients are the ones that they say to, well, there's always the Redskins. That doesn't work out well for us.
No, but I don't think that's the case. You know, we've gotten some guys.
it's
we've got
less the
some guys
case
in
now
there.
than it was.
Yeah, no,
it's
that
less
was
the case now than it was.
This is a little bit, you know, more. We're a little more squared away right now, is what I'm saying. You know, regardless of Bruce Allen, you know, that's kind of been the case.
I always take issue with people who say, "Oh, you know, the people go to the Redskins for a paycheck." I understand what you're saying when you say that, because there was a time when the Redskins were kind of that. But there's 32 teams. There's a million guys who would give their left nut to play in the NFL and would take whatever money any of the 32 owners were offering. So
might come up in a physical.
let's just be honest about
But
that
I'm not
part
even
of
talking
it.
about the washed-up guys. I thought Ken was talking about the top guys.
Yes.
Whose agents are saying,
Eh.
I'm not dealing with that.
We're gonna
You got
yes.
so many other better opportunities other way.
and the
other
middle
places.
tier
I
guys,
know,
T.
but
It's the guys that are not difference makers where the agents go, well,
No,
there's
but the
always
middle
guys.
tier.
Fair.
The middle tier.
Yeah,
how
there's
about-
always the
That's who
Redskins
we
guys.
need to keep getting.
But how about the common man who's also the highest paid man, like this little Alabama contingency that we've grown upon? You know, there's guys that might say, you know what, I kind of want to go play with my boys. And look, I mean, we just saw what Jonathan Allen just did. I mean, how many freaking tackles in the backfield and sacks is one man supposed to have against the Jacksonville
Yeah, he's
Jaguars?
beast.
I
Let me
mean,
ask
he
you-
is a freak.
Here's a question I have in my pocket for you guys. Would you?
I'm not reaching in, so you're going to
Would
say
you
it.
fire
You better
Bruce
say it
Allen
fast.
and Jay Gruden and give everything over to Nick Saban?
No.
All right, there's no
'cause
chance.
Saban has tried it, and I'm not saying he can't come and be successful. I think he's a college coach. I don't think he's going anywhere.
I know, but I think you're a little stuck in that. I think you're a little stuck there. I don't know. It's a perfect
not for
opinion to
everybody.
have. I agree. But this would be his 5th stint in the NFL. You act like he never did it. He was the head guy under Belichick in Cleveland. I mean, he has put his time in. He has done things. He could possibly, I don't know if he would want to. I'm not saying I want him to either. Do not get me wrong.
No.
Just because I said Alabama doesn't mean that I think that we should do that here.
Yeah.
But I also think that a guy his age, I mean, Nick Saban is no spring chicken.
Nope.
I think it's done for him. I think he's going to ride it out down
Yeah.
there, and they'll make
But he made what was
statues and blah blah
possible. I
blah.
wouldn't wanna see it.
But I think he'd do a good job. I don't think he'd do a terrible job. This is not like Spurrier, man. Is what I'm saying.
No.
This is a diehard
not.
junkie workaholic freak who's going to be a control freak of the culture from the top to the
That's
bottom.
why I'm wondering if he's team
And his-
president. If you say,
Oh, it has to be. It would have to
you're
be.
in charge of everything.
Yeah, but he's making 12 a year, so you're gonna have to give him what, 15? Is $3 million a
there's
year
no
a big
salary
raise?
cap there.
I know, but is that a big raise for him to go and fail with the Redskins? And then what do they say? We have an open door to come back. You can just, blah blah blah. I don't know, but making that amount of money, what are they going to give him? 20, 60 million over 3 years to do all that?
But the interesting part about the Nick Saban question in the NFL to me is, I think
He's
that
a dick.
But Kev, I'm just saying. To me, what's interesting about him
We're gonna replace
potentially
a dick
coming
for a
back
dick.
into the
Sorry.
NFL,
That's two dicks
is
don't make
that
it right.
If he decides to make the leap, I think I don't think he's in it to do it for 1 year and quit. I think
I agree.
he's giving up a ton to even try it if he does. And so I think he would be invested in that regard. And I think he'd be an interesting guy to have invested in you.
Super interesting.
Yeah, because if he
I'm
is
not even
gonna-
saying against it. I just didn't say that's my answer.
Yeah.
No, I don't want it to be him. But if it is him, we have to start opening our minds to the fact that, oh, crap. Now everyone's going to have to do what he does. What are they going to do? They're going to have the 9-hour practices. He's going to be kind of close to Marty Ball. Is that possible around here? I don't know.
He's gonna have.
I don't know. DJ Swearinger will like it. Alan will like it. Pan will like it.
I mean, Belichick is the closest thing to Marty Ball. And even that is not sitting right with everybody in New England. And look at where New England is right now. I think he's starting to really wear out his welcome there with ownership and possibly players too. I mean,
follow up.
I don't think you
always
have
wait
to
to
be,
the
I don't think
playoffs.
you have to
Always
be a,
wait to the
but I don't
playoffs.
think you have to be a dick to be successful.
Can I just ask a quick follow up about Nick Saban?
Yes, that is a way to do it.
Tony Dungy is proof positive of that.
T. If Nick Saban comes to the Washington Redskins, does DeMarco Hellams decommit and go to Maryland?
Or does he just come to the Redskins?
Or does
Can
he
we
just
do like
come
a
to
DC
the Redskins?
United like junior program?
Just saying. I think that we should. That's probably the story we all need.
DeMarco
to
goes to the
about.
Terps, Saban goes to the Redskins, and we just have everyone in the basement.
Come
we do an Adam
on!
Sandler end of the
could
movie
have 'em all
style
here.
party.
Could have 'em all
We
here.
all just do it like it
definitely
ends.
do
And it's
it.
like the waitress from Hooters, the three of us, Saban, Locks. You know, we got it, Fitz. I can't say that. Sorry.
I appreciate you guys. Merry Christmas.
Oh, we were just about to have an end of the thing party. It became the end
Merry,
of the
Merry.
thing party.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to everyone out
everybody.
there.
Happy holidays to everybody.
Are we on Silent Night by the Temptations? Better believe it. It's probably.
Yeah,
I think
that's
that
a fact.
Pat Mitchell says it's #1 Christmas song of all time.
It's amazing.
Temptations Silent Night.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
Sure.
It's
Probably
just-
I
copyright
thought we
protected.
established that the
Hey, let's establish this. It's not just Christmas.
Jackson's
Everyone,
song was.
happy holidays. I know that. Everyone that's listening, everyone that checks us out, everyone should be happy this time of year. I don't give a damn who you are.
Yep.
And especially Redskins fans who we just caught that W on the road. And I want to say this
Victory
final thing.
week.
I didn't get to say it, but
we stay on the road.
But I said it to Jabruce earlier, and I'll say it again. I don't know. Someone get at us if you know that this statistic. Has anyone ever beaten a top 10 defense in the regular season in the NFL with a fourth-string quarterback who was signed for less than a week? I'm
I
just
said
saying.
earlier.
I know,
said-
but I just
it's
think
like
that
it
is.
has a scab feeling to the. Josh Johnson has the old scab type like.
Hold
Thought
on.
all the-
Hold on.
I mean, that's a word.
Mark
of
Sanchez.
labor versus
Mark Sanchez
union.
was just a big, huge scab with a scarf
shit.
and a
Like
latte.
a literal scab that you want to pull off. I'm talking about the scab skins. A guy who was just on the street,
Great team.
hanging out, playing. I think he
Yeah.
was playing in a charity tournament, like 3-on-3 basketball tournament, when he got the call that
Yeah.
you know
The
we
San
want you to
Diego
come play in the
Animals.
NFL. That's what this feels like.
True.
But it's got a great at this, especially at this time of year. It's you can't not root for the guy
Nope.
to do great things.
And people need to remember there's
During the
athletes
greatest
like
time
Josh
of the
Johnson
year.
out there
During the
all over the
greatest time of
place.
year, on the greatest football team.
But Josh has got
And
it
we
right
love
here,
it.
doesn't he?
Yeah.
He walked in and took the team over the way a quarterback should, and I know you love that.
He's been
I just
there-
love he
he's
did it
been
from
in that
Madden.
position
He learned
so
his
many
players from
times. He's
Madden.
not there to prove anything.
Yeah.
He's there to be him.
and
I
be a
think
quarterback
that
who
rubbed
has to
off.
be the leader, and he
People
knows
are
that.
Like, all right, he's a confident dude in what he does.
Yes.
Yes.
And what he's
And-
been through. Yes.
The New York Giants game, I believe in my heart, and people will have to convince me otherwise, that the plan wasn't to go to Josh Johnson sooner. I don't know why they kept going back to Sanchez, even in the second quarter.
It's a mark against us that Sanchez ever took the field.
If you were watching the sidelines, I watched nothing but the sidelines for the entire second quarter.
I
This
know.
guy got sick of it. But Josh Johnson was
Because I
clearly-
wanted it too.
He was the only guy not in a winter coat on the sidelines at one point in the second quarter, which made me think, okay, someone's told him he might be going in the game. And he's doing a lot of calisthenics, a lot of stretches. And I can't help but think, what if he did play 3 quarters instead of less than 2 quarters?
Right.
So I'll give that's a positive Josh Johnson love.
Yes, his celebration after the win this week is what dreams are made of. It's what being persistent, working hard, and staying true to yourself. And like you said, he came in here and acted the way he acted. He didn't care who the hell else was around. I'm a quarterback. This is how a quarterback acts. You don't walk in with a scarf, skinny jeans, and a freaking little dog in your purse. You just don't.
I believe,
Millennial
I
Mark.
believe it was a miniature horse.
bedazzled
Kevin,
glasses.
and it was an emotional.
And he was like, he already had his
service
hat on,
animal.
ready for the post-game interview, and he was like, hold on. I didn't sign up.
By the way, I
to play.
apologize if I offended
I
anyone
am
who was a
great at
miniature
this.
horse. emotional therapy animal.
How do you fit a quarter horse in a man purse?
I don't know.
You just try to fit a quarter horse into a man purse. And
miniature horse.
If that's not the title of this show, then I quit.
I think the title of this show, I forget what I said the title of this show was. So, but I did say that we would imagine a world in which the Redskins were a playoff team. I think we've done that. And I do think it is a wonderful world to live in. And I would also say that people who thought it was not a very exciting Sunday where the Redskins got a win over the Jaguars, people who are maybe not fully believing in the Washington Redskins' chances of making the playoffs, I just tune in on Saturday. Watch this game against the Titans. It's not even a Stranger Things have happened scenario. The Washington Redskins can actually win this game.
Of course they can.
We can actually show up and win this game. The fact that it's on the road is a very big deal, although the Titans are 5-1 at home.
Yeah.
The fact that it is being watched by many also works a little bit against us, but this is a Saturday night game. We've actually done better in Saturday game, sorry.
We have to have done better on Saturday than Monday.
Mondays and Sunday nights. This is neither of those. We're checking off awesome boxes here, everybody. And I actually do believe that there's going to be, to circle all the way back to something you said that we talked about, and I mentioned it in the six-pack, and that is the Alex Smith factor moving forward is an interesting one. Because I do think him getting out of the hospital, and I think that the news of his health, I think, was a positive thing for the Washington Redskins team. And I don't know if he's going to be healthy enough to do it. I don't know if he's going to be able to talk to these guys in the kind of way that, the rah-rah kind of way. But I think he might have something to say about this before it's all said and done. Because I think he has that ability with these guys. I mean, they love him that much.
God, I wish the connection was just between him and Josh Johnson, because that could be powerful. Instead, David Ruffin, myself.
You know what's fine? Josh Johnson doesn't need it.
No, he doesn't.
I think everybody else needs it.
But
a lot of the other guys need it.
He just reminds me of we just listened to the Temptations' Silent Night. Like, Mark Sanchez came in just straight up silent fart style. Like, he was just, except for it was a 40-second or point, whatever, silent fart, is what he was.
Yeah.
In the wind of Landover. And I hope that everyone knows that he had a lot to do with the fact that the not Alex Smith was his fault. I mean, it just was, because that's what it is. The not Josh Johnson at the start of that game was because he's been such a silent whisperer, the Dak whisperer, they keep saying. We brought him in here to wear the hat, the clipboard, and to be like, it's like ADP, what is it? The security system, and you have the sign in your front yard. Yeah, but you don't actually have the equipment set up.
But
so when
it's a
someone
good
breaks
sign,
in,
though. It's a good
people
sign.
are like, I'm not breaking in there. Look at that sign. When once they do break in, Mark Sanchez is like, take my scarf, have my skinny jeans,
And my miniature emotional
take this
therapy
horse dog. Take it. Fudge.
Again, I think we beat this little.
If you have a miniature horse that's an
We beat the
emotional
horse.
service animal,
Why don't we just beat
we
Sanchez?
beat the little dead horse now.
I'm
Let's get on
sorry
with
about
Christmas.
Sorry,
that.
Millennial Mark. Put your horse away. Get out of Ashburn. Go back.
You can
to
fly on
Orange,
Southwest.
Go back to Orange
with horses
County.
now.
Yeah.
So anyone who flies Southwest, you can fly with a dog.
He doesn't tip his Uber.
cat,
He doesn't tip his cab.
and a miniature
He
horse.
doesn't tip the pizza guy. He's a millennial from Orange County, and he came into Landover, and we didn't want him. We wanted the guy from Oakland the whole time, and thank God we got him now, because now we got a fighting chance.
Best Josh Johnson tips. Bet you he does.
No doubt.
We won't be here next Tuesday night. Next Tuesday night will be Christmas evening. But there will be Redskins action to talk about, and I do think you will see us. Do us a favor. Go to First Amendment Sports on the YouTube channel that you're watching right now and hit subscribe. It is 100% free. Yeah, it's like somewhere around this area here. I don't know.
Free.
Blocking probably one of our faces. Give us a subscription. You'll get a notification if we're doing some Redskins talk. We're going to definitely start to try to engage those lost Facebook Live viewers. That's going to be my Christmas wish, is going to be to get back some of those people that we lost.
Friends back?
Get our Facebook friends back. We need to get our Facebook friends back.
I know, it's sad this time of year.
You're our Facebook friend liaison.
No, that's not sad. No. It's a happy
that
thing.
they're
We're
not
trying to get it
here.
back.
No, they're just that they're not.
But we still wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy
We'll
holiday.
Thanks, T,
You're welcome.
for the hope.
Until next, not Tuesday night, but until next week, until next episode, Please have a safe holiday season. Please enjoy yourself, enjoy your family, enjoy these Redskins wins any way we can get them. Merry Christmas. Kevin, T?
Yeah, and if you see Mark Sanchez at the
Over
mall,
here,
punch his dog in the face.
One more.
Yeah, I thought it was a little horse.
Whatever it is, punch it in the face.
I'm Ken Marangolo, and this was the Audible.
Happy holidays.
Merry Christmas.
Still alive.
Happy holidays. Yes.
Oh, bonus couple.
Still alive.
Bonus. Don't go away yet.
So if
Something spectacular may happen.
I don't want to have a physical altercation with Mark Sanchez. I just hate that it was
Something
him.
about his